So we just told you our names, but maybe we didn't tell you our story.
Don't think they know our story just yet.
No. So I said 3 years ago, I kind of want, it was my first Me2We, and I said to the committee, I said, hey, can we do improv? I'm like, I'm kind of like, all the rooms are taken and you're too late. I said, well, what about outside? And they're like, we guess so. So I went to the Monument to Change as Change Happens right over there. And some of you who were part of it may remember. And that sort of sparked the beginning of our improv journey. We're about 35, I was there, it was like noon, I think, and it was noon, no one showed up, and I was petrified, like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And 1 minute goes by, 2 minutes go by, one person shows up too, and before we knew it, we had 35 people, and I was just overwhelmed, and we had the best time ever. I mean, people skip their lunches, and like, it was just the most magical thing, right? To just spend time after sitting in lecture after lecture, and to be able to just connect and have fun and enjoy the weather. And last year, we, we recognized that we both really, really enjoyed and appreciated improv, benefited personally, and said, hey, Kevin says to me, Kesinee, I have this idea. And I said, really? I have an idea too. And his idea was, go ahead.
Have a workshop at Me2We.
There you go. And so we did it. Yeah.
And thanks to that workshop and thanks to all of you, we saw the magic in that room, and we started an LLC this week, and we are going to bring this to as many people as humanly possible. So that is our goal, and it starts here today.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I guess business born improv trained, and just I guess last fact about us is we are award winning in engineering and in communications. So we bring two very different perspectives and found the same solution to many problems that we face.
Yep. That's all we need to say about that.
Enough about us. There are other things to talk about today, including.
Pay attention because there will be a quiz. Okay, this is really, really important. Kevin, take it.
There will be a quiz. And that said, there's still joy in the pursuit. So we will.
Bear with that. Gunshots. You didn't hear.
Gunshots.
Classic movie, The Godfather. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. If you have seen it, it's worth watching again. You heard what he said, right? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. That's clip one.
One, and this is not related to anything.
So just remember that.
There we go. Got it. Now the next.
Oh, this one, 40-year-old virgin?
Yes.
Another classic.
That's like my knees go. So satisfying. Oh God.
Then we got one more for you, and a little bit of context on this one. So Mjolnir is like an infinite weight hammer. So keep that in mind, infinite weight, and you can only hold Mjolnir if you're like pure of heart, etc. So you there are a lot of constraints on who can hold Mjolnir. So you'll notice.
Look at that right there.
The coat rack. No problem. Just hangs it on the coat rack walking in. So now it is time for your quiz.
Any guesses as to what these three clips from The Godfather, 40-year-old virgin, and Thor have in common? Any guesses? Humor?
Good
yeah,
answer.
Certainly.
There's more.
There's more than that. Anyone else? Yes. Yes. Each and every one of the lines from those scenes have been improvised. And so we wanted to share with you, and there are other movies and other, shows that have improvised versions, but how brilliant, how funny, how creative. It just goes to show when you are able to sort of let go, be in the moment, work with what you have, what can come of it. And in this case, brilliance and hilarity.
So much creativity.
I know, right? So we just wanted to share that with you. And then as an added bonus, we have a scene in this deck at the very back from The Princess Bride. That's a little bonus.
So we wanted to hear from you. Why did you join today's talk? And there are several options to choose from. The presenters are brilliant and funny. Always wanted to learn more about improv. My friends made me do it, and I'm in the wrong room. Help. And
Just take a moment.
And we'll take a moment. Never expected brilliant and funny to stay at 100%.
I know. I
Oh,
know.
hang on. We do have someone who's in the wrong, one or more
Whoa.
in the wrong room. So I will let you know that if it turns out you're in the wrong room, we're not trying to make this awkward for you or anyone else. You are welcome to get up and head out. Improv is meant to be voluntary
And inclusive.
and inclusive. So we want to make sure that you feel included if you're here, and if it's not where you want to be, we're not going to force you. We're all here to have a good time.
Great. So it looks like most of you here are in the right place anyway.
Mostly in the right place, and apparently the presenters are still at least a little bit brilliant and funny.
Oh, it's coming up, but
And
it might go back down.
one or more of my friends made me do it. Well, hopefully peer pressure will pay off today.
All right. So that's right. The keys on this slide are to remind me of what I'm going to say about this. Yes, that's right. The reason we decided to continue with our improv journey is that both Kevin and I have found that over time, improv has been helpful, not just from a personal standpoint. For me personally, I've been doing communications, consulting. I've worked for Fortune 500s. I've worked for city governments, tech, healthcare, investor relations, media relations, et cetera. And it has helped significantly calm my nerves and anxiety when doing public speaking. And you may not know this about me. We'll share here is that I am actually a closeted introvert. I used to be introverted. I mean, honestly. And doing improv year after year after year has really helped calm the nerves to the extent that people who haven't met me or seen me in a while are like, oh my gosh, your personality has changed, which, your personality can change over time. So that's one benefit that I've gotten out of improv. And then work-wise, I started seeing benefits at work in terms of team culture and connection coming out of the pandemic. And even before then, all of us working from home or hybrid or whatever it is we're doing, I found, that the connection part was really lacking. US Surgeon General has cited loneliness as a national epidemic, right? And, I argue that there's still always a lot of opportunity to do more connecting. And I feel like I've noticed and I've seen this happen, that improv has been a great tool to help facilitate that connection. And then, of course, when you have an environment that allows for that, it's supportive of creativity and innovation as a byproduct.
Absolutely. And I would go into my benefits on this slide, but the next slide has the ones I wanted to speak to. So I took improv for fun. Who am I kidding? It was just something I wanted to do as a good time, as an outlet. And I found that it made me a better engineer. I'm an engineer. I think I talked about that once before, but if you didn't know me, hi, I'm Kevin. I'm an engineer. So if I think of three things they don't really hammer on in engineering school very much, they are soft skills like empathy, cooperation, collaboration, and laughter. Engineering schools tend not to be a place where you're going to find stand-up comedy in the middle of a lecture on physics or something like that. But what I will tell you is that improv has made me more creative as an engineer. It's helped me better understand my users so I can better understand how to make their lives better. And we'll get into more of why, but in an improv scene, people bring information and it has to be collaborative. I'm here to make Kesinee look good. She's here to make me look good. And if we aren't here to collaborate, then it's going to fall apart entirely. So it teaches you reliance on others, which is not something that engineering school is big on. And on number three, I've often joked that life is too short to be miserable. And if it were longer, is that how you'd want to spend the extra time? So really that laughter piece, boosting your immune system, there are health benefits, there are social benefits. Just there are a million great things about improv, and I can't really find any drawbacks. So if you find one, let me know, but please do so privately.
And the research shows these are the pillars of well-being: connecting with others, being active, moving around, taking notice, meaning pay attention to detail, the here and now, being present, keep learning. Sound like anyone here? And give back. This was a study done by the New Economics Foundation. It's a UK think tank. And they spent a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time doing this research. So it's backed by research. And what do these 5 things have in common? They're aligned with the principles of improv, right? They really are. It facilitates all these things. So now that we know this, you can go to the next slide.
So now that we've spent a lot of time telling you all about ourselves, all about improv, all about our experiences, all about the benefits, we figure it's time to try before you buy. Give it a
And
shot.
one more thing.
Let's hear it.
We ceased to mention. How many of you all were at Sarah Sewell's afternoon session yesterday? Yeah, right. So do we want to mention the yes and concept?
I'd like to mention the yes and
Why don't you
concept.
mention that?
I should do that. So yes and, I will yes and that. So improv is based on the concept of yes and. So when you say yes and, the word and helps to expand the conversation versus a word like but, where it sort of constrains it. So when you say and, you're being inclusive, you're being collaborative. When you say but, you're
Let's do an
being.
example, Kevin.
Let's do it. Sure.
Hey, Kevin, what do you think about that pinstriped pony that's outside the door?
Yes, and the pony is running all over the quad. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and wouldn't it be fun to ride that pony?
It would be fun to ride that pony.
Yes, and what about getting one of those for my birthday?
Yes, and your kid's birthday should have at least 3 ponies.
Thanks, Kevin. This is why we're such great friends.
It sure
I
is.
appreciate it. So that's an example of yes and versus yes but, right? You're there to support one another and work together.
And make sure that there are
collaboratively.
enough ponies at the birthday party.
That's right. You don't want to be short of ponies. Anything else about Sarah's session? So much of what Sarah helped us work together on yesterday was this very concept of yes and it's really important when you're doing storytelling. It's important when you're working together in teams. It's important when you communicate with one another. And it also helps with a growth mindset, right?
Mindset all
We're
day.
not worried about the outcome. We're not worried. Sure, you're running a startup, you want to, there is an outcome you want, right, as a founder. However, overly worrying about the end product is not a productive thing. This retrains us to think about the process, to rethink about the whole process as an exercise in learning how much new information you can take in and apply.
Yes, and one thing I will also add to Kesinee's point is that there are no mistakes in improv. Like things might not go perfectly. I will share that I was not very good at improv when I started, like not at all. But there are no mistakes. So it's a great area to experiment. It's a great place to try it out. And over time, you'll notice improvement. But one thing that I've loved about improv is it gets you out of your head. And that is something that a lot of us need in business. So
That's right. Beach ball.
we're about to do that.
Beach ball. What was the high number in which group thinks they had the highest number?
38.
Oh, 38? What number? How about lowest number?
5, 0.
They have to be real numbers. 0?
And-
Did you have a beach ball?
Well, it also sounds like not everyone is keeping track of how many times they hit the ball.
Right.
You weren't keeping track?
No.
But we're all super competitive here. And how are we going to know who won?
Right?
We were having fun because
having
everybody
fun.
wins when we're all having fun.
That's right.
A+ answer, but
All
there
right.
are no mistakes.
So that covers beach ball.
I think so.
Let's move over to sound ball.
Let's do sound ball.
All right. In this exercise, we'll demo this for you. Sound ball is a great way to think about a different way to communicate with one another. It focuses on paying attention, listening, and then reverbalizing. So instead of, hey, Kevin, my name is Kesinee. So nice to meet you. I'm a game changer.
Kevin, nice to meet you. Voyager.
Great,
That was a little awkward.
right? Instead, we'll do something like this. Hey, Kevin, I'm.
Hi. I'm.
So nice to meet you. That'll wake people up. You have a group meeting that's kind of getting a little, low energy or after lunch.
Yeah, these are all things you can
Try it.
take home. And before you
right.
take it home, let's try it here.
Yeah, let's try it here. Go back to either your same groups or different groups, like, 5, 7 people, whatever. Just group up real quick. You're gonna be doing these, so why don't we group up right now? Okay, we need one volunteer. Well, why don't you come over
Yeah,
here?
you're a volunteer now.
All right. All right. Digant.
Thank you.
All right. In this game, Zip Zap Zop, the purpose is nothing but to, again, pay attention to one another, and it's also about eye-hand coordination.
And a great thing about Zip Zap Zop and hand-eye coordination is there is no actual moving object and very limited chance for injury. I never say it's zero, but
You never know.
never know.
Got to cover ourselves. So I'm going to put this down so that I can, because you have to use your hands as well, all
Please.
right? So this is a game that people use to loosen up before performing on stage. And the idea is to pay attention, do the, eye contact, and also listen. And remember, keep track of what's happening. So the sequence is zip, zap, zop. So I'll start with zip. So I pass it to you, I go zip. And you say zap, you pass it to them.
Zop.
And it doesn't have to go in the same order. If you have like 7 people or 10 people, it can go, I can go to either him or him if there's someone else here or here, and then it's any random order. You have to be there to receive it. So ready? Zip,
Zap.
zap,
Zo.
Zip.
zap.
Zo.
This is a great time to remind everyone there are no mistakes
No
in
mistakes,
improv.
absolutely at all. You
No mistakes.
celebrate,
That was perfect.
right? So you all ready, get back in your group, you can zip, zap, zop for a couple minutes and try it out, see how that feels. Thank
Try.
you so much, Digant.
Excellent work, everyone. I love the energy in this room.
Awesome work. You all are awesome. Okay, or the next one. This game is called Loser Ball.
Loser ball.
Kevin, I think you were really excited about this one, so why don't I let you
I'm
explain it?
super excited about loser ball. So in loser ball, one person, so kind of like zip zap zop where you're sharing the energy and directing it to a given person. But in this game, you throw that person the ball and they do not catch it. They drop it. They have some embarrassing way that they were unsuccessful in task. And then everyone celebrates. And one thing that I'll point out, and there may be differences in cultures in terms of how we celebrate. Share your culture with us. This is a very inclusive art form, and we're all here to learn from each other. And one thing that I found fascinating in learning about celebrations across cultures was the act of putting your arms over your head as a celebratory action.
Kind of like this individual right here.
Not only does it span cultures, it actually spans species. All primates do it. So I thought that was fascinating. Wanted to share that with you all, and look forward to learning more from each of you about how you celebrate as you try loser ball. So,
And a
Kesinee
note
and I
about
will-
the ball. Note about the ball.
Oh, note about the ball. So much like zip zap zop, there is no physical object. We start with the physical objects to kind of help train your brain, get you moving, but there is no physical object, which again minimizes chance of injury, which I always appreciate. We can never say it's zero, and the
He
lawyers
does have a lawyer
told
in
us
the
we need
family.
to.
He's married to a lawyer.
I'm married to a lawyer, so yeah, I need to make sure. Disclaimer: there is always a risk of injury in this or any improv activity. However, we have taken the steps necessary to minimize that chance.
Right. So
Wait, how do we determine?
That's how you do it.
it. I see.
And that's really how it works. So give it a try, and we'll reconvene for our last game after that.
how did that feel, everyone? Good job.
Great work, everyone.
Nice.
I have
Very
never
nice.
seen so much praiseworthy failure in one room in my entire life. This was fantastic.
Amazing.
Great work, everyone.
How y'all feeling?
How you
Good?
feeling?
Yeah, right there. That captures it. All right. Okay, for our final game here, we're gonna share 3 things.
3 things.
All right. You're gonna stay in your groups.
But I will share a fun fact about 3 things before we play it.
Please.
Kesinee and I often start our own meetings with 3 things. This is
We
it's
do.
that iconic of a game.
Yeah, I do so at work actually regularly. Right?
Yeah, it even works with kids. Like I play 3 things with my kids all
So
the
the
time.
thing you're focusing on in 3 things is 1, the idea that there's no wrong answer. Number 2, being present and in the moment and allowing your creative side of the brain to not be out edited by the thinking side of the brain. So basically say the first thing that comes to mind, right?
Absolutely.
So we will demonstrate this and then you get to go practice, all right? Ready?
Let's do it.
Go ahead, you start.
3 flavors of ice cream you would never want to eat.
Coconut, coconut, ginger, garlic.
1,
Smelly socks
2,
flavor. And dog hair and fish food crunch.
3 things.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. So just choose a category. That's usually the hard part, believe it or not. But there are no wrong categories and there are no wrong answers. But I do see a question which I would like to answer.
Yes, I do have a question. Yeah.
Please.
So after she says those 3 things, what was 1, 2, and then?
Oh, everyone else in the group counts off. So after she said the first one, I said 1, second one, 2. And then at the end, everyone goes 3 things.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
oftentimes in the beginning, when you start, you kind of look at each other and you have your fists like this and you say
3 things.
You move your hand so you know you're about to start. And you'll say together
3 things.
Remember, you can't do this unless you're paying attention, right?
Got to
You
pay
might have
attention.
5 of you, you have to kind of mind meld and coordinate. And so 3 things, and that's where you start. And either you can go clockwise or counterclockwise. There are no wrong answers. There are no wrong categories. Y'all ready? Do you have a question? Any other questions?
Yeah, we want to make sure you have fun with this. So if you have questions, please ask. But at the same time, we know you will make no mistakes because
There are what? Are no mistakes.
no mistakes in improv. Thank
That's
you.
right. Thank you.
You guys want to make it?
So
Right. Go.
we are very excited to share that we have a book coming soon, but we also wanted to share that there are more workshops for leaders and for organizations. So
Because we don't want, now that we're connected and you feel connected, we want to stay connected with you. And
Exactly
hopefully
right.
you will have ways to stay connected with us.
and we'd like to help you connect better within your organization. So that's why we put on these workshops. So, and we'd also like to help you win a signed copy of our book. So go to the contact us section of our website. There is not a contact us website. That would be ridiculous. And the QR code's on your bookmark. So you should have gotten a bookmark when you came in. If you didn't, please find me. Happy to give you a bookmark.
Yep.
If you need a bookmark for a friend, let me know. Happy to give you another one.
Exactly.
And go to the Me2We workplace, tag photos, hashtag it Creative Catalyst. The more you post and share, the more chances to win. So look forward to seeing you win a copy of the book and look forward to more workshops, more connection.
We want to thank you because without you, we would not have been emboldened to decide to go through the LISA program and come up with this idea and keep going.
This is all your fault.
Basically.
Good thing there's no failure in improv. So if you'd like to tell us more about your experience today, oh, okay. So we have some early results coming in. So yeah, please keep those coming. Let us know how you felt about today's workshop and how you felt about today's activities. Leave that up for a moment, if only because I love to hear from all of you, and I'm so glad that you had as much fun as we did.
And it gives us ideas for future workshops as well, your feedback. So,
A question.
yes.
You use a slide for improv, right? Like this one. Do you have any other tool that you can use?
Improv, most improv that I've been involved in uses no tech. It's very, very low tech. It's very much in person and one-on-one and on stage. However, during the pandemic, a lot of improv schools moved to Zoom. And so there's a whole generation, a couple generations of Zoompervisors that have come up through the ranks. I'm a Zoompervisor. I started doing Zoom first, and then I stepped on stage for the first time 2 years ago now.
Yeah, it's only been 2 years.
Yeah, and so I'm now, I sometimes will perform at Bats Improv in San Francisco and do other things. So it's definitely a valid way to get your improv chops, and also a great way if you have geographically dispersed teams. Like I said, at work, I use improv to do team building pretty consistently, and we have people from around the globe. Yes.
And well, actually, one more point about tech, because I think this is very important. Traditionally in improv, the tech you get is literally chairs on a stage. You don't have slides. This was so we could, be inclusive of our friends who are not able to join us in person today, and also share a little bit more information, share some videos. But if you go into an improv class, there are chairs, and usually you're not using them except to show that you're in a vehicle or you're
Use them as props
in
or
an
not.
office. Yeah, use them as props or not, but there are usually no actual props and very low tech, which also means you can include more people, which is amazing. Didn't mean to cut you off. Your question.
So any resources for online?
So we have a workspace. So like we said, if you want a workspace, in workspace, we have an improv channel. So I've posted some articles and some interesting factoids, and occasionally we'll put in new exercises. We also have, if you go to your bookmark and scan that QR code, a website, and we'll be kicking off more and more information as time goes on. And of course, the resource, the key resource that we will be bringing timed for this year is our book called Yes and
Your life.
Yes, Improv Secrets to Creativity and Connection in Business and Beyond. So look out for that. And the best way to stay in touch is really through QR code and link up with us. And we really look forward to getting feedback from you. And nothing would make us happier than to be connected with all you leaders. And we really appreciate you coming today. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a lot of fun.